Welcome. It's the Midday Sports with Rod and the Lunch Crew. It's a late night edition. I got a special guest, Aaron B. of with touchdowns and tacos, or is it
Tacos and
tacos
touchdown.
touchdown?
Tacos and
Tacos and
touchdown.
touchdown. How you doing, my sir?
I'm doing good. How about yourself?
I'm just taking it easy, man. Taking it easy, man. So, man, how did you get into podcasting, man?
It actually started off with I was one of my friends from college who was talking about he's looking for a sports podcaster. It was back in 2018, and I was just graduated. And I was like, I need something to do outside of being at work. So I like, hey, we used to talk about Dallas Cowboys all the time. I'm like, hey, we'll start a podcast called NFL and Chill. We did that for a year,
Mm-hmm.
and then certain things came up, and then through time, I was just kind of just doing my own thing, and then I was just at one of my older jobs. I was like, man, I need to get back into it, and I want to do it my own type of way. So I'm from Central
Mm-hmm.
Texas, and I like tacos and I like football, so came with the name Tacos and Touchdowns, and it
Mm-hmm.
just started from there.
Man, I can't do that Texas heat, man.
Ah,
My my aunt lives in Colleen, right at Fort Hood. Man, it's too hot for me.
oh, oh,
It's too
it's
hot
hot.
for me. It's too hot. You got to go outside at 6 o'clock and stuff. I said,
Yeah.
man, I don't know. I don't understand how you like it, aunt. But she's been there for years, man. Then Central Texas. How's that, man? How's does that look? Where
It's
at in
tough.
Central Texas?
By San Antonio, I'm in a little small town
Okay.
called Seguin. Yeah, and the heat is I don't like the heat at all. It's just like we just literally got out of from having degrees like from 110 to 105. So
Look,
you got to deal with, yeah, you got to deal with that all summer. I'm not a summer person. I'm like, I can't wait until it's fall when it's in the 70s and 80s.
mm,
Yeah, but outside that, it's home. I lived around a couple places. We used to live in Georgia when I was a little kid, and we lived in Oklahoma, and then coming back to Texas when I was 19. And I enjoy seeing my family and everything, but the Texas heat is not my favorite. I'm just to be
man, but
honest.
y'all known for the football though, man. The
Uh,
football and the Friday Night Light series, and you know what I
oh
mean.
yeah,
There's a lot of great stories, and you know what I mean in high school football, man. It's always been a powerhouse for football, man. When do you think Texas is going to be back on top, man? Texas University, the Longhorns. When do you think they're going to be back on top?
it's gonna take a little bit. I know they're getting some great recruits out there. It's just trying to figure out are these players want to be Longhorns or
Hmm.
players are getting their money. I have no problem with that. It's like are they seriously about football or like they're trying to get their ducats up? That
Hmm.
you just gotta look at it that way. But it's gonna be interesting in a couple years when they got to go to the SEC and they're gonna play against those.
Woo,
Yeah,
big boys.
yeah, they got a little taste this weekend against Alabama. They were holding their own until making them mistakes, and then you got Ewers getting hurt with the AC sprain. Hudson
Hmm.
Card seemed like a decent quarterback. He's from the Austin area, so he's truly about Texas. And I think he can be that quarterback for this year. I think
Yeah,
Arch
yeah,
man,
yeah. You said it right. This year ain't
yeah,
nothing
this
more than that.
yeah, he's like, yeah, you better get it then or try to get you a little spot in the NFL as best as you can because they got Arch Manning coming. So in between him and Ewers, I don't know how that's gonna work out.
Man, even it was a good weekend when North Texas get a win.
Oh,
You
and
know it's a good week when North Texas get a win.
oh yeah, man, it's like them and UTSA the ones that only got to win. A&M lost to Appalachian State. I'm like, what's
Mhm.
going on in Texas?
But Houston always, you know what I mean, puts up a lot of points. So I always
Oh
give them
yeah,
some credits. Houston, Baylor.
oh
Baylor had a good game against BYU. But man, what's going on with your Cowboys, man? Let's get straight to it. What's going on with your Cowboys, man?
hey, I knew it was
Is
coming.
CD Lamb is gonna wait? Is CD Lamb gonna be a number one this year? Do you think?
To be honest with you, I wasn't on full board about him being the receiver one. I wanted him to be receiver two, but things happen. I did take a little sip of the Kool-Aid when they started talking. Oh, he's doing really good in camp. I'm like, okay, I can see CD, but you honestly seeing him play last night, he's not your receiver two. He's not your receiver one. He's your receiver two.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think he's going to be a decent receiver, but I think they need another receiver on the other side. Gallup won't be back until week three.
Oof.
Yeah, so he's still recovering from that injury, and everybody's saying we should get Odell Beckham, but like y'all remember, he tore his ACL back in at the Super Bowl. So
But he was
yeah,
looking good before he was looking like
oh
an
yeah,
MVP before that knee popped. He was
oh
looking
yeah,
like
he
an
was.
MVP.
Oh yeah, for sure. If we're talking about like in November and we still struggling, I say sign up Odell for that 1 year because
Mm-hmm.
it's looking a little scarce on that end.
Mm-hmm. And so, what's going on with how long do you think Mike McCarthy's really going to be here
Uh,
at the Big D?
oh, this is last year. I'm just gonna be honest.
Woo!
Hey, I'm him and Kellen Moore can bounce. I'm like Dan Quinn can stay,
Uh-huh.
that staff can stay, but that offense staff they gotta go. I'm be honest, but they're too conservative. Like they,
I felt there was a problem when you call a draw and with 15 seconds left or 20 seconds left, and you call a draw. What sense does that really make? You got to score quick
yeah,
and try, but you want to call a draw?
nah, I'm I'm just not with Mike McCarthy. At first I was like we had Jason Garrett for so long. It was like you're good to see a new coach, but Mike McCarthy was that way that stuck in his old ways when he was at Green Bay. And I think the reason why we got him just because he got that Super Bowl ring, but that was 10 years ago. That
Mm-hmm.
wasn't recently. To be honest with you, it probably I feel like Sean Payton's gonna be here next year, or they're gonna do Dan Quinn as the coach.
But if you get Sean Payton there, you're gonna have to let go of the reins. Is Jerry going to be comfortable with letting go of the reins?
Yeah, that's the problem. Like, is he comfortable letting? He hasn't let off the reins since Bill Parcells in the early 2000s, and since then he's gotten a bunch of yes men that's like, all
Mm.
right, coach, I appreciate you for the opportunity, and then it don't work out. The biggest yes man he had was Jason Garrett, of course. He was there for 10 years.
That was his son. Him and
Yeah,
Tony Romo, that's his son.
oh
Both
yeah,
his sons.
oh yeah. That was when it comes to them two. Like you'd always see them in the press box when there's events.
Mm-hmm.
He never did that with any other coach. It was like Jason Garrett. He and I think when he finally fired him, he was crying and everything. I just had to get rid of him. I had to get rid of my son, and now you got
But
Mike
man,
McCarthy.
but the biggest thing is now, man. We all know Dak went out last night. You know what I mean? Supposedly, it's a hand injury. He's going to be out for some weeks. He needs surgery on it.
Mm.
What if you was running the Cowboys right now? What are you doing? Are you letting Cooper Rush be the QB for a couple weeks to Dak come back if he comes back, or are you going to try to go trade for something or
Be
look for
honest,
something?
be honest with you, between him and Will Greer, these first 2 days, I'm gonna look how they look. I'm gonna give it that 1 week. Like if I ain't seeing no progress, I'm gonna try to look for something. Like to be honest with you, I might look at Jimmy G or hell. To be honest with you, for the temporary reason, I might even give Cam Newton a try to see what he got just for those few weeks.
Woo!
Yeah,
He
yeah,
said Cam Newton. You talking about a ghost?
yeah. It's a little scarce right now in free agency when it comes to quarterbacks. All the good quarterbacks in free agency are going. It's like,
He said Dak is done.
oh
Oh
yeah,
my God.
man. Because it's they said between 6 to 8 weeks, and then you don't know how he's in recovery because that's his throwing hand. Because it's
Yeah,
his,
man.
so it's kind of a rough scenario when you're looking at like your QB1's out again after 2020, and it's kind
Mhm.
of giving you those same vibes like, oh, we're gonna go through this hell again of mediocrity.
What about Andy Dalton? You think y'all would think about giving up a six for Andy Dalton again, or
I I think they're done with Andy Dalton. They want an uproar from the fans. Go ahead, sign Andy Dalton because for them few games you didn't see nothing from him. And the offensive line is struggling again. Yeah, you got Jason Peters. Even he's 40, he's still decent, way better than the other offensive tackles we got. Because I like Tyler Smith, but he's a better guard. He's only 21 or 22.
But do y'all still got that the international player y'all got from the NFL's what you call it,
Oh, the
abroad
international.
program?
Yeah, we still have him, and he showed some promise in preseason. I don't know what it is. Why don't we just give him a shot at being our backup tackle? Because Josh Ball ain't the guy. Walesko got shoulder problems. It's like, hell, why not? He's been here for 2 to 3 years. He's been in the system. Why don't you put him at your left tackle and see what he goes from there? But you know how the Joneses are. They don't they shit got to hit the fan before they make changes.
The biggest thing is, you know what I mean, I find real crazy the touches of Zeke and Pollard. Why did he get no touches? Like you pay Zeke all this money for him to only get 11 touches.
Yeah, and he was actually the brightest thing that happened yesterday. He actually looked like he was running fluid. He had a burst. I'm like, why don't we utilize that? But he got 52 yards and in those 10 rushes, he got over each carry he had was over 5 yards, but we didn't utilize it. We were trying to force throws, got intercepted, sacks, and then you get Dak Prescott got hurt, left guards hurt. Like, why don't we try to run the ball? You spend all that money for Zeke, and then you got another talented running back in Pollard, and they still give them these little cute little gimmick runs, and like teams know what you're gonna do. Like, I don't know, it's just why don't you spend all that money? Why don't you utilize it?
Mm. But man, how do you feel about the? Do you think Diggs gonna have another big year this year, or you think he's gonna bounce out this year? You think he can do the same thing or something close to it?
I think he's gonna be a very good corner, but he's not gonna have that interception year where he beat the record. I feel like he's honestly gonna get like between 5 to 7 interceptions this year, but not. I don't see him hitting that.
Mm-hmm.
What was it? 14. It's like
That
teams
left,
are figuring.
yeah,
Yeah, 11. 11 interceptions. I
yeah.
don't see that type of year. I definitely could see him as a Pro
With
Bowler.
y'all next, with y'all next couple games, what's the ideal wins to losses ratio you think y'all gonna get? You think y'all just gonna fall all the way to the bottom, or you think y'all gonna be able to figure it out at least to get a wild card, or you think y'all done already?
Right now, to be honest with you, um, man, I literally thinking about this. Like the best case scenario right now would be wild card, but honestly, it don't look like it's gonna be in the playoffs unless that come back in that week 9 and we then had like week 2 and 4 or something like that, and he balls out. That's the only way we're getting to the playoffs because unless we Greer shows out because I don't Cooper Rush is like a 1 game type of quarterback. He's a he's, he's a 1 game type of quarterback. Like it's too
Man, you
much
don't got no
hype.
faith in him, man. You don't got no faith in him, man.
He's been here since long as Dak, and it's like he's inconsistent. He has 1 good game, but everything's got to work out. It's like the defense has got to be on cue, the receivers got to be on point, and when the pocket collapses, he's gonna get sacked because he can't scramble. I'd rather have Greer in there because at least he showed that he could scramble, has a decent arm for being a backup quarterback, but they have all their hope in Rush because I definitely just see Rush going to be there until he's trash, and then you're gonna put Greer in. But we'll see.
Yeah, y'all have a difficult one though, man. You got the Bengals at the Cowboys this Sunday, man, at 4:25. How do you feel like that's gonna go, man? You think it's gonna be a blowout, or how do you feel like y'all gonna fare it the
I don't
next
think
game?
it's not gonna be a blood because the defense is doing good, but they can't just put all the priorities on the defense. It's like they ever think this defense will be all whole marathon defense. No, they're gonna get tired in the fourth quarter. That's what you're seeing against the Buccaneers because the Buccaneers weren't whooping our ass because the defense was doing well. It was in those last few they got those 2 points, and now you're looking at playing against the Bengals. You got to play. You're going against Jamar Chase. You're going against Joe Mixon and T. Higgins, and all those type of guys. It's just like they need to find when it comes to the offense, they need to run the ball. They just need to run the damn ball and then utilize what they have as receivers. But are they going to make those adjustments? I don't know because you got Kellen Moore. I think honestly they need to take the playbook from him and let if this will be Mike McCarthy. Hey, you just get the whole just take it away from him. To be honest with you, we didn't see 2 years of Kellen Moore. He ain't done. It's too concerned. He got that Jason Garrett funk on him.
He thinks he's smart. He think he's the smartest guy in the class, man. That's his biggest problem, man. He thinks he's the next. He thinks he's North Turner. He thinks he's all the great offensive coordinators and play callers. He thinks he's already up there and he's arrived. That's his biggest problem.
Yeah, it was a Jerry Jones experiment because you looked at Sean McVay. He was in his early 30s. He was this offensive genius, so he's trying to force one with Kellen Moore, and it's not working out. Who did he learn from? He learned from Sean. What's his name? Scott Linehan, Jason Garrett. And when you look at Sean McVay, he comes from a family that was an NFL royalty with the 49ers, and then he learned from Mike Shanahan. That's a better tree than what Kellen Moore learned from as being an offensive coordinator.
So what's some big games, man? Let's get off this Cowboy talk because I don't want to get depressed. You're going to get depressed. You got me thinking about my Patriots losing last night. So, you get me depressed. I don't got enough liquor in this room, my castle. So what's some games did you enjoy watching yesterday?
Actually, one game I was surprised that was going to be a good game is actually that Colts and Texans game that went down to the wire, even though I thought the Colts were going to blow out the Texans, and it didn't. It ended up being down to the wire where both teams tied. I was like, okay. Because I thought I just changed the channel because it's in Texas. So I'm like, okay. I had my eyes on this whole game. And then the other game I was watching was that Chargers and a Raiders game. Because I know that was going to be a good game.
Danny Mills, at first I was making fun of the name and stuff, man, but he's okay quarterback. Yeah, he's an okay quarterback. You know what I mean? They already have a good defense with what's his name? I think Terrell or something like that corner. They got an all right defense, you know what I mean? But I wasn't expecting that game to be that close. I thought Lovey was going to took advantage of. They also gave him some bad groceries, you know what I mean? When he got that team, but he's coaching them up, so that's a good bright spot for him because I think they set him up to fail. But he's putting some good product out there.
Yeah, really, because I had that same opinion. Like I like Lovie Smith as a coach, but they put him in a scenario where he basically had nothing. It's like the defense did really good compared to what I thought it was going to be, but I got to think he's a defensive-minded coach, so he's going to have the defense ready. And like when it comes to David Mills, I'm like, is he going to be a good quarterback? But he's showing that he could be that solid quarterback for a couple years and at least get you to the playoffs eventually. It's just you got to put some more weapons around them.
Yeah, they you know what I mean. Yeah, Brandon Cooks, that's not enough. That's not enough. That's definitely not enough, man. But man, how do you think about did you catch the Chiefs game? You watched a little bit of Chiefs?
Yeah, I watched a little bit of that game. I knew the Chiefs were going to win that game.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
but it looked like they didn't miss them. They didn't look like they missed the cheetah at all.
That's true. It's like honestly, when it comes to Eric Bieniemy and Andy Reid, you can honestly have a very good system there. Like, hey, Tyreek gone, but we could have some weapons. They got Sky Moore, we got Juju, we still got Kelsey, and then what's that running back? Clyde Edwards-Helaire?
Helaire. I think he caught a touchdown, receiving touchdown. Mm-hmm. Him out the backfield is a problem.
Yeah.
Like the biggest game also surprised me too is the Giants too. I didn't expect the Giants to beat Tennessee though. I didn't expect that at all. I didn't expect that.
I don't
think Danny Dimes.
Man, because I follow some Giants fans and some friends Giants fans. They were so excited. They're like, we want to know. It's like they won the damn Super Bowl yesterday.
So hey, look, they're 2-1. Giants. You know what I mean? The Giant Football League, Pro League, NFL Pro teams. They're
Yeah,
2-1. Only person lost was the Jets.
yeah. That's against the Ravens, man. Joe Flacco had to play against his old team.
Like how smart are you really to let Joe Flacco throw 50 times?
Not too bright. And I was like, I think teams think he's still that Super Bowl quarterback, but they got to realize how great that Ravens defense was. And then he had Anquan Bolden, and then he had Ray Rice. Like you don't have you don't have that with the Jets. You got Brees Hall, and you got Garrett Wilson's show some promise, but it's not a full. It's a team that's got a bunch of youngins, and you got a veteran quarterback that's like on the back end of his career.
You know what I mean? And people, you know what I mean? I had a lot of Jet fans talk to me. Oh man, we got Sauce Gardner. He's gonna be the next Darrelle Revis. I said, man, come on, don't be disrespectful, man. Don't be disrespectful.
That's too much.
Darrelle Revis retired with only 20 something interceptions, and he's going to Hall of Fame. That's unheard of. Somebody only have 20 something interceptions, but he had a hell of just deflections. People were scared to throw to him. You know what I mean? The worst thing happened to him when he went try to go to Tampa. That didn't work. You know what I mean? He's not his own corner, so that didn't work out for him. But that man was a dog. You know what I mean? You can't let the rookie be him. You know what I mean? Himself. Let him be. You know what I mean? Sauce Gardner, but don't put them big shoes on him, man.
Yeah, you know, a lot of teams they'll force a narrative because he comes from Cincinnati, but you got to realize who does Cincinnati play. I'm not putting them against Sauce Gardner because I think he's gonna be a really good corner, but I'm not gonna put him in the category of Darrelle Revis, who was one of the best best man-to-man corners in the 2000 era. Like he's only played one game. Like don't put all that pressure on that kid.
You know what I mean? And he played some of the greatest receivers, you know what I mean, all time, man, and shuts them down. you can't put something like that on them.
Because he was playing against the Mosses, the Owens, he was playing the Ocho Cincos, and the list goes on from there. Like you got a kid that's only played one game, and now we want to put he's gonna be the next Darrelle Revis.
Yeah, that's too much.
Yeah,
man. How do you feel about tonight's game, man? How do you feel about tonight's game? Russell Wilson going to Seattle, man. What kind of performance you would expect from Russell at home, at his former home?
Oh, Russell's he's gonna show out. When it comes to the Seahawks, when you look at the Seahawks, this is a team that's trying to get that number one pick. They want to get that quarterback. They're looking at between C.J. Stroud or they're looking at Bryce Young to be that quarterback. They're not looking to beat the Broncos. They're gonna try to give it their best, but you got Geno Smith at your quarterback, and behind is Drew Lock. So I'm not expecting too much. Maybe it'll be a good game. I'm not gonna take that away from the Seahawks, but I see the Broncos winning that. What about you?
You know what I mean? I think it's going to be pretty bad, man. Anytime you got Geno's, you know what I mean, Geno starting, it's going to be pretty bad, man. This is the man that got his jaw broken at practice at the Jets.
Oh, I remember that.
I you know what I mean? He's just a certified backup to me. I probably would have started Drew Lock, to be honest with you, because you paid all this money for DK Metcalf's, you know what I mean, contract, and you kind of wasting his, you know what I mean, he's wasting his youth. So you got to get a true number one QB in there to make him flourish. You paid him all that money.
Yeah, it's just a waste. Like I know Drew Lock's not the greatest. He's a he has his moments where he's good, but he has a lot of moments where he's bad. Like between him and Geno Smith, I would go with Drew Lock, and I thought that was going to be the guy, but they they have trust in Geno, I guess, because he's been there longer, which is no excuse. Go for the best quarterback.
Honestly, I thought they was gonna trade for Baker Mayfield. I thought that kind of made some sense, but I guess they wasn't thinking about that.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. I thought Baker would have been the good pickup, but now you're honestly seeing that they want to go with we're going with one of these quarterbacks in this next year's draft. Because if they honestly wanted to do something this year, they would have got a Baker. I'm not saying Baker would have took him to the Super Bowl, but maybe you'd have had some playoff contention.
Yeah, at least, man. But that division is just so tough with all those teams in there, man. It's gonna be tough for them to even have a good season, man.
Yeah, because you got even in their conference, they got the Rams, they got the Niners. Arizona is hit or miss, but but to be honest, right now it's looking pretty. It looks a little open, and it NFC is kind of hard to figure out more than when it comes to the AFC. It's kind of a little bit set where you're looking at the AFC West has got you might look at three of them going to the playoffs.
Yeah, man, definitely, man. I think that Ram loss to the Bills, man. I don't think it's nothing serious like that. Where people making it to sound like, man. I think it's still their division to lose, man.
Yeah, yeah, I see that as. I think people are need to pump the brakes on that. It's like the Rams are still a good team, and but the Bills are one of those teams. Like I said a couple weeks, they're a team that's looking for blood because after them two losses in the playoffs, going almost going to the Super Bowl against the Chiefs, they're a team that kept adding for these past 2 years. They added a Von Miller and some draft picks
Mm.
and some guys.
OJ
This team,
Howard too. OJ Howard
OJ,
too.
yeah, they had OJ, and they're a team that wants to win. The only problem,
Man,
the only word I got
go
is
ahead.
Josh Allen when it is scrambling because he don't know how to slide. He wants to contact, but like that's how you're gonna get hurt.
You know what I call him, man? I call him a Madden character. You know what I mean? He's like a super Madden character. You know what I mean? He want to run. He want to run through everybody, man. I call him Tim Tebow was, you know what I mean, with a great arm. That's what I call him. Because he get close to that goal line. He's undefeated at that goal line, man. It's hard to stop somebody's 6+, almost 6'7",
Yeah,
running that, with a head of steam.
yeah, he's a rare one because most of all them tall quarterbacks we've seen, like the Brock Osweild, the Ryan Mounts, none of them guys could
Mm.
run, but Josh Allen's a different story.
Yeah, I gotta say, man, he's probably one of the quickest white boys in the league. You know what I mean? At
Yeah,
QB, he's one of the quickest white boy in the league I've seen in a long while. You know what I mean?
yeah,
But I feel like, man, I definitely think they're gonna win the division. It hurts me to say that, but I think the Bills gonna,
I know.
take that division easily. It hurts me to say that because I'm a New England Patriot fan. I've been a Patriot fan since I was 10. Um, but it's just their time, man. I don't think we got the athletes even to mess with them, unless we can pray for like a bad storm and they can't. You know what I mean? That's the only way we can win and beat them. You know what I mean? We threw it 4 times that year to beat them once. You know what I mean? And it was a real nasty rain up there in New England. So you know what I mean? I don't know, man. I think there's definitely their time, man.
Yeah. What do you see your Patriots being like this year?
I don't know, man. It's a lot of uncertainties. Uh, that line is a problem for me, man. I think this got to be one of the worst offensive lines we ever had. Um, Brown got beat off, by a DN real bad, man. and he was going to look just standing there like this. I think that the tackle position is just, it scares me. It definitely scares me. The play calling scares me. It's definitely going to be a testing season. You know what I mean for us. But right now, I'm just hoping for 8 wins right now. To be honest with you, I'm just hoping for 8 wins, maybe 9.
Right. Who's y'all's offensive coordinator now since McDaniel's gone?
Bill Belichick won't tell. So I'm thinking it is Matt Patricia, but he's not selling who's making the play calling. You know what I mean? Belichick, that's what games he plays. So
that's true.
I definitely think it's going to be a interesting season, man. We spent last year, I think it was last year, we spent like 120 million, but nobody came up. You know what I mean? Showed he produced for all that money we gave out in the free agency, except for Matthew Judon.
Yeah, I was surprised when they came to that free agency for the Patriots because they're not usually a team that spends a lot of money on players.
Mm-hmm.
Judon actually showed out there. That was actually the best.
Yeah, he had a good game yesterday. He had a good game. But I feel like, you know what I mean, the only thing I worry about with Tua, you know what I mean, he throws some ducks sometimes. And he'd be underthrowing sometimes. Mm-hmm. And I really worry for Cheetah that he might get that boy hurt. Because you know what I mean, he's not the best thrower.
Yeah. That's one of the things you got to worry about because when it comes to Cheetah, you need a guy. He needs a guy that can throw that deep ball, and you don't know where a ball might go. He's a lefty, so coming from another lefty, I know that when that ball comes out, it's a little weird, different from the right hand type of quarterback. So he's to be honest, he's going from a downgrade when it comes to you got Mahomes that got a hell of an arm, and then Tua, he's at that arm that's like it's good one game, and next play is like. It's not going to work out, and like you said, he made you
But I feel good about my Patriots next week. We got the Steelers. TJ's not healthy; he's out for the season. So I got some kind of hope. I don't got to deal with that man.
TJ Watt ain't nothing to play with.
Yeah, he tore his pec, so he's out for the season. So I don't got to worry about that. And Mr. Trubisky, I ain't worried about Mr. Trubisky at all.
So what's your prediction when it comes to Mr. Trubisky? How long do you think he's going to be the starting quarterback?
I'm going to say about 5-6 games, maybe.
5-6?
I think he's going to start stinking the place up.
Yeah, I honestly see that. I was saying between 4 or 5. And Kenny Pickett's gonna get that start.
You know what I mean? You don't draft Kenny Pickett if you don't think he's the guy. But I guess I think Mike Thomas. You know what I mean? He wants a veteran. I know that's his MO, but you might as well get the rookie some some snaps, develop him in some in-game situations. Man, he's a hometown product out of Pitt, so you know what I mean. It makes sense.
And it's basically a good story. He played at that same stadium in college, and he's playing it in the pros. I remember seeing the videos like Pittsburgh's locker room, and then the Panthers locker room is literally just a half, like split in half. It's the perfect story. You got the Pittsburgh kid. He's definitely gonna play this year, and
all they got to do is keep on feeding Najee. Feed Najee. Don't put the ball in the rookie's hands too much. Feed Najee. You got some good little receivers. You know what I mean? Just tell him not to crash the car. He'd be all right.
Hey, that's because they got Pickens now from Georgia. They got Claypool.
Yeah, he's a freak. He's a freak.
Yeah, they got all those guys. That's a team that you can see back in the playoffs.
They looked good with Cincy, though. They looked all right with Cincy.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to have to look at some film on Cincy for this game next week. I mean this week. Oh,
So what else do you cover, man, with your podcast, man?
uh, right now when it comes to there's a college where I went to. I do like interviews when they're at home. So it was my first time doing it. Like during practice on the Thursday, I'll like interview them, a couple questions because I wanted to try something new. But
Mm-hmm.
outside of that, I kind of what I do on my show right now. I do like a Cowboy fan versus where we talk. I bring in like a podcaster, just fans of their team who we're playing against. I want to get their perspective, how they think their team's going. But I dabble a little bit in college football. College football is a little different. You basically got to glue into Saturday. So that's why I said I dabble more in the college football more than like the NFL. I'm kind of more glued into.
Okay,
Uh,
so if you had to pick, who's your team for college? You like to
college,
watch when you want to dabble in?
it'd have to be the Longhorns because it's only an hour
Are
away
the
from me.
Longhorns?
I grew up
Okay.
a Vince Young fan, and I was a Ricky Williams fan when I was a kid. So like, I'm just gonna go with the Longhorns. Never liked the Aggies.
Why nobody loves the Aggies, man? Nobody showed the Aggies no love. Nobody showed Texas Tech no love. Nobody showed SMU no love. Why everybody I meet from Texas, Longhorns, Longhorns?
Oh, it's actually funny when you live here in Texas, you see more Aggies, bumper stickers, run into more Aggie fans than Longhorn
Mm-hmm.
fans. But like
Mm-hmm.
once you get here, you're like you see more Gig'ems and Aggies. Like, Texas Tech is rare. It's like the only time you ever see Texas Tech people is like they went to school there on an academic scholarship. Outside of that, you don't really see them unless you live in like a West Texas.
What about TCU? Do you get a lot of love?
TC one of the teams that neither you don't hate them or you understand like hey this is a good institution. They got a good football team, but you don't really bump into many TCU fans around here.
What about let's go to HBC Rim? What about some Texas Southern? Did they get any love?
Texas Southern gets love. Prairie View, my a lot of my family went there. They get love.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, other schools, there's like a lot of little small schools in Texas at HBCUs. Sometimes they're like in all of East Texas, like Wiley College. I'm trying to think of another college, Jarvis Christian College. I'm trying to think of all but the main schools are your Texas Southern and Prairie View. So, are there any of the HBCUs where you at?
We got Morgan State, we got Dell State, we got Howard, um, Lincoln, and PA. There's a couple,
Uh, I remember Lincoln because they played against that Prairie View, and I went to that homecoming.
and at Hampton, we got Hampton too in Virginia.
Oh
Hampton.
yeah, hey, those some top notch HBCUs, the Hamptons and the Howards, the Morgan States. Like
Mm-hmm.
got a lot of history there.
You know what I mean? Only thing I knew about Howard, you know what I mean? I remember Biggie rapping that line. You know what I mean? Howard Homecoming. I was like, oh shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And when I was a young boy, the only thing I knew about Texas was the Ghetto Boys. You know what I mean? The Ghetto Boys, and you know what I mean? Bun B. You know what I mean? The Underground King. You know what I mean? UKJ. You know what I mean? So you know what I mean? That's the only thing I knew about Texas. Till I really met it. I said, yo, it's not. I could see the imagery that was rapping. You know what I mean? When
yeah.
I came out there to visit my aunt and stuff like that. But
When was the last time you went to Texas?
oh man, it had to be. That shit had to be when Barack Obama got in the office in the beginning. It's been a long
Oh,
while. It's been a long
08?
while, man.
Man,
It's been a
yeah,
long while, man.
that's been a minute.
Yeah, I got a lot of family out there in Colleen and what's it, Foxworth or something like that. What's Worth something? Um
Oh, Fort Worth.
yeah, Fort Worth. I got
Yeah,
family
that's by
everywhere,
Dallas.
man. Yeah, I got
So you
family
said
all in Texas.
You said Colleen, so they're like in the military.
Yeah, my aunt retired there at Fort Hood. So
Oh yeah,
I see why you like the tacos though, man. There's some good Spanish food out there.
oh
There's some
yeah,
good Spanish food out there.
yeah, yeah. That's like one of the main things to like where I live at. That's all you see is a bunch of little taco joints. Like some are good, some are really good, some are like hit or miss. It's wherever you go. But but like the more south you go, that's when the tacos taste really good. That's like that authentic. That's not authentic. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Yeah.
Like those
Man,
nondescript food
so
trucks.
what's what's some good spots, man? If I ever go back to Texas, man, it's a must go to in the San Antonio rain area, man. What's some good restaurants everybody should stop by and try the food out?
I'm thinking of one place. One spot where my girl's at, El Tequila's a good one. Ooh, I'm trying to think of all the man. I be going to these places like, man, there's some damn good food. One by me is Taqueria on Talinco. Ooh, man, the best place I ever had was in the Valley. I ain't been to which is like is like 2 hours away from Mexico. And I can't even think of the
Uh,
name of the places, but most like 80% of the places I've been to, it was all the Hispanic food there was a 10.
you said a 10.
It was a 10. Like the more north you go into Texas, it turns into that I'm trying to think of a word. Like not all Hispanic food is good. I found one spot in Dallas and Grand Prairie that was actually pretty good, but outside of like in the north part of Texas, the Hispanic food is like, but that one place in Grand Prairie was pretty good. It was a good solid 8 or 9. That was like the last time I went to that Cowboy game, and it was against the Giants when Dak Dak got hurt. So my first Cowboy game was when Dak was hurt for the year. So
So man, what got you to become a Cowboy fan? Your whole family's Cowboy fans, and it just I mean, bleed it off on you, or you had your own
yeah,
choice in this situation, man.
majority of my families are Cowboy fans or Texans. Then you got the random Commander fans, guys that cousins that never lived in Virginia or lived in DC area, but they are Commanders through and through. I got Eagle fans in my family. All of them were born and raised in Texas, but they came out to be some. But I got some family in California, so they were. And then San Diego, they were Charger fans, but some of them kind of spread out to Cardinals. But majority of the family is Cowboys and Texans and the random ones.
And my pops is a Washington Commander fan now. He's been a Washington Commander fan my whole life. You know what I mean? But I couldn't be that, man. I just I didn't never liked how they used to play back in the day with Joe Gibbs. Um, so I couldn't do it,
Yeah, yeah, they're one of my
especially
least favorite
Jason
teams.
Campbell.
Yeah, they had some quarterbacks that are like, ugh. I can't talk too much like outside of the Aikman era.
Y'all had like Quincy Carter, yeah, Quincy Carter, uh, Rodney Peete.
Hutchinson. There's some years in that Dallas history like we try not to remember when it comes to them quarterbacks. It's like I wouldn't want to talk about them. Like there's only one player from that Commanders I truly respect, and that's Sean Taylor. Like outside of that,
Oh,
yeah, I can't talk bad about no Sean Taylor. Sean Taylor was a dog.
no, Sean Taylor and if what you call could have stayed on that team, man, Champ Bailey, man, they
Oh
could have
yeah,
been one of the best tandems of all time, man. And especially if Sean Taylor didn't get stabbed in the leg and died. But R.I.P. Sean Taylor.
for sure.
Him and Brian Dawkins probably the two that scared me in that secondary. And I got to put Troy Polamalu because I seen him jump over the line and hit Tom Brady and then punch a fumble ball all the way to the end zone and jumped on it. You know what I mean? He was a freak.
He was. Him and Ed Reed. You gotta remember Ed Reed too.
Oh yeah, Ed Reed. But I also used to like your boy, man, Woodson. He doesn't get
Oh,
enough praise, man.
he doesn't. He was actually one of my favorite players growing up. Him and Prime Time, Coach Prime, and Emmitt Smith, and the playmaker. Those are my favorite Dallas Cowboys all time.
I really didn't like Ashy Lips, man. I didn't like Ashy Lips.
I know where that nickname come from. Yeah. we ain't got it. I already know what that's not the first time I heard that nickname.
I would call him Tyrone Biggums. I believe you receive it low, man. But man. So man, tell the people what you have coming up this week, man. Do you have anything coming up on tacos and touchdowns?
Yes, sir.
People can.
Yeah, so we're on StreamYard. So we're on Twitter and Facebook and IG. So it's all tacos and touchdowns. So both of them are capital T. So check that out. We got a show Thursday with one of my high school friends I've been knowing since middle school. He's a Bengals fan. So we're definitely gonna be doing that talk on at 8 o'clock Central Time. So go check us out. It's like a little fun banter. So I have fans on. We just be talking for 30 to an hour, just talking mess about our teams, or we just be like, but we show praise to our teams when it comes to like, hey, you got some great players on your team, we got some on there. But when it comes to the nitty gritty, we still gonna be talking mess like on Facebook and then social medias. But honestly, just good fun.
That's what's up, man. Again, man, this has been Midday Sports with Rod and the Lunch Crew. I had Aaron B of Tacos and Touchdowns. I'm sorry, man.
Are you good?
I appreciate you coming on, man. And go check him out, man, on his social media, man. He got some good content, man. Go check him out. And how can they get in touch with you again? Give him your IG again.
Yeah, so my IG is tacos and touchdowns. So both the T's are lowercase, but on Twitter it's a uppercase, and then on Facebook tacos and touchdown live. So those are my 3 social medias you can check me out at. But every show's on Thursday. Sometimes we have another show on Monday or Tuesday. It just depends on the guests we have. But a majority you'll see us on Thursdays, all NFL season. And we may be talking about a little bit of college. And I have to give a shout out to our sponsors, What a Clean Solutions. They do couches, they do cars, interior. So go check them out if you're in the San Antonio area. So I have to show my.
Damn, he got sponsored, buddy. He's big time. He got sponsors and shit.
And we move. We're slowly moving on up, but I appreciate.
I'm sponsored by Block and Miles and shit. This man got a cleaning company and stuff. God damn.
Hey, we slowly grinding, but hey, you got Black and Miles. Hey, shoot.
Oh, but I'm gonna leave that one alone because I'm about to say, you know what I mean, Tyrone Biggums could have used that cleaning company at the hotel, but I'm gonna leave that alone.
Hey, we're not gonna talk about the White House. I'm gonna end it off from that.
All right, man. All right, man. I appreciate you coming on, man.
Yes, sir.
Man, go check out Tacos and Touchdowns, man. It's been a good episode, man. Go check this man out and support his stuff, man. And this has been a Midday Sports with Rod and the Lunch Crew, and we out.
Peace. Are we still live?
See. Hold on. This StreamYard it'd be glitchy.
Yes, I've had the same problem.